everyone. Starting later today, but we are here, so that's all that matters, right? Yes, I'm so excited to bring this training to you, just because I feel like with my experience working with people who are trying to heal from burnout and manage burnout, and understanding the different types of burnout, the signs of burnout, and how easily you can actually burn out in your business. I just really wanted to make this training available to you so you can get started and figure out what type of burnout you have, and figure out how you can create your own recovery plan, and then how you can actually join Master Universe to prevent burnout, any type of burnout, and also heal from it. So let's get into the training. Hi, everyone. All right, so let's talk about... some of you might be familiar with this model, but I want to talk about burnout. And really, I really need everyone to realize that burnout is not just about taking time off or that you work too much. Because you could literally do nothing and still experience the symptoms of burnout. Feeling like just tired. It's existential, it's spiritual, it's physical, emotional, mental, all of that. Like, burnout hits you at all these layers, and that's why it's so dangerous, because it can really bring you down as a being. We talk about it just in work, we talk about it in business, we talk about it with parenting. And then I noticed when I posted a thread on Twitter, how to see the signs, a lot of parents were like, oh, this is just like motherhood. I'm like, no. Or this is just being human. No, you should not feel like this. I'm not a parent, but I do know parents that have been able to balance their businesses or their jobs or their lives with their children. Like, it's not easy, but you should not be ran ragged with anything that you do in this life. So this is just a snippet from my Master Your Beliefs manual, essentially, mastery manual. And I'm bringing out snippets because when it comes down to burnout, if you do not change the beliefs that create the emotions and the habits that cause you to burn out, you will always go through a cycle of burnout. And that's the truth. You will always go through a cycle of burnout. Whether you leave your 9 to 5 and start a business, you're going to burn out in your business. Whether you shutter your business and just become a stay-at-home parent, you're going to burn out in parenting. Whether you decide to go back to work, you're going to burn out in business, because your belief system creates these habits that force you to do things that you don't want to do, say yes to things that you want to say no to, overwork yourself in order to feel worthy, so you will burn out no matter what you do. And so where your beliefs lie in your layers of consciousness is under what your identity, your values, and then you have your beliefs. So what do you believe is possible? How are things supposed to be? Do you feel like do you really tap into the philosophy of no pain, no gain? Work hard, play hard. All of these things have been fed to us from an early age, and we're playing these tapes back over and over in our minds. So when we're supposed to stop, we keep going. When we're supposed to rest, we keep pushing. We feel like the only time we rest is when we are exhausted versus when you just want to rest. Like, I told people, like, oh, I just took a day off. And they're like, oh, because you were sick. I'm like, no, because I just wanted to take a day off and do nothing. And you should be able to do that. People should actually question why you want to work so much. People should question why you want to do things you don't want to do. We really, really turn people that suffer into heroes, when the real heroes are people that do what they want to do and avoid suffering. And I'm so glad, like, these the athletes and the Olympics are really making these public stands, because the Olympics is like the greatest example of suffering and how you win a medal for, physical, emotional toil and suffering, not just like competition. Like, people really, really will watch the Olympics and see terrible things happen to people, or see people like still finishing a routine even with a broken bone or tibia, like, and they'll say, oh wow, what a amazing athlete. Like, they just forget that they are human. And so I'm so glad that these athletes, these amazing beings, are standing up, because now this sets an example. So if Olympic medalist is like, hey, I need a break, you could definitely take a break too, And so I just wanted to show you where your burnout really comes from. Depending on the type, no matter what type of burnout you have, this is where it comes from, your belief system. So you need to ask yourself, what beliefs are you holding on to that are making you do the things that cause you to burn out? What makes you pull these all-nighters? What makes you feel like you have to work these long hours? What makes you feel like you have to do everything yourself? What makes you feel like you have to reply to every comment, reply to every email, reply to every DM? What makes you feel like you're not allowed to hire help even though you just started your business? What makes you feel like you have to do most of the work yourself, or you can't trust anyone? What makes you feel like you have to stay late at work to get these files done while your boss is already left for the day? Like, what makes you believe these things are necessary in order for you to be successful, to be happy, to be fulfilled? You have to ask yourself these things, because this is the root of the problem. This is the root of your burnout. So once you address the root, then you'll never have to, it stops the growth of the burnout cycle, because you probably experienced it and you took a week off, and then you come back to your business or to whatever you need to do, and you're just like, oh man, I'm so behind now. Now I have to do extra work, and then you're burnt out again. You should not be going through cycles of burnout and rest, because eventually it's going to take you longer to recover from burnout, and you're never really going to fully enjoy your rest that way. So when you go through your belief systems and the beliefs that are causing you to perform these things that make you burn out, that is when you break the cycle. So you have these types of beliefs. So we have beliefs about who you are. You have beliefs about what certain things mean. And then you have beliefs about what causes certain things to happen in your life, right? So when you look at your beliefs, do you believe that you are a successful entrepreneur, or a successful healer, or a successful coach, right? So you believe these things about yourself, but you may also have these beliefs about the identity of a successful entrepreneur. So based on movies and certain stories and media, we believe successful entrepreneurs hustle harder, or the best things come to those who hustle and things like that. So you may have beliefs about that identity of a successful entrepreneur. You may believe that your ADHD might prevent you from doing that. So you try to go above and beyond to show people that you aren't a squirrel mind. You aren't lazy. You aren't absent-minded. So you go hard because of that, or because of your race or gender, sexuality, anything. So these beliefs about this identity of a successful entrepreneur is what may be causing you to burn out. So you need to look at what you believe a successful entrepreneur to be. I'm so glad. You need to look at what you believe a successful entrepreneur to be. And then look at your life now. And it's like, what's really keeping you from being the successful entrepreneur? You don't have to read 100 books a year. You don't have to work 12 hours a day. You don't have to have a massive team either, but you should hire help for sure. All of these things, you should look at the beliefs about the identity of a successful entrepreneur. And this will help you really change what you feel like you need to live up to be the successful entrepreneur. Then the next belief that you need to look at is, your beliefs about meaning. So a big thing that means a lot in the world of entrepreneurship is 6 figures, is that 10K months. Do 10K months really mean that you're a successful entrepreneur? Do 10K months really mean that you made it as in business? What are some other things that you can look at or that mean that you made it in business as well? Being content with what the food that you have in your fridge, being able to have extra money just like in your bank account for emergencies. Like in some areas of the U.S., I live in New York, so I need $1 million a month. but if you live outside of, these coastal cities, New York, LA, San Francisco, you don't need $1 million a month. Like you can have a great business and life, $50K a year. You can be like, you could ball out in Kansas. So you need to think about what these numbers mean really, what these things that you're working towards truly mean, and what feeling or result were you trying to tap into by acquiring or doing these things. What does 6 figures actually mean to you? What does 7 figures actually mean to you, not just society? Because I hit 7 figures when I stopped trying to hit 7 figures just because I wanted to say I hit 7 figures. I'm so glad. And so looking at your beliefs about your income, beliefs about your business, and then also one thing that really I want to share, you've probably heard it on podcasts or heard me talk about before, but I had 2 businesses where I made 6 figures in each, but I was so miserable. And this is before I started my practice. And this is what led me to starting my practice. So I guess I went through it for a reason. But thinking about what does it mean to have a business? Like, I thought that I needed to run a tech business or a serious business. I didn't feel like I could run a healing-based business or a mindset. I would be a mindset teacher. I didn't feel like people would take me seriously. I thought my beliefs about business meant that I needed to give people tangible products, or I needed to give people tangible services. So they needed to have a mobile app developed for me to be a business owner. They needed to get business funding for me to feel like a business owner. So I thought finance and tech meant that I was a real serious business. Like, me being on the cover of Fast Company was something that I really aspired to. And I was like, if I want to be in cover of Fast Company, I need to be in tech. I need to work with tech startups. So when I changed my belief about what it meant to have a successful business, I set myself free from running businesses that I hated. I didn't hate them, but that I did not really want to do. That literally depleted my dopamine reserves daily, you know? As someone with ADHD, we need to hold on to our dopamine. So I would just be drained daily running these businesses. And I just felt like, so once I changed what my belief about business meant and what a successful business meant, or what it meant to be a real entrepreneur, I set myself free. And so that was the first step in healing my burnout. And also another belief was about whether I was worthy. And this stemmed back to inner child healing. Like, I thought that I needed to have the 2-bedroom apartment in New York. I needed to always have the designer name brand items in order to be seen as a successful entrepreneur. And so I was always hustling. I had to have 2 businesses so I could have multiple 6 figures, so I could live in New York. I could have these, I can always do my Chanel unboxings. I could always have like the latest hairstyle, latest sunglasses, hair, all this stuff, nails always done, everything. So people could take me seriously as an entrepreneur, and that I would always have my level of friendships, like my friends that were boss babes and, 6-figure honeys. I thought this is what I needed in my life. And once I changed that belief, I set myself free. So I wasn't working so hard anymore because I wasn't spending so much money on random things to be seen as something, to live up to this facade. So it's like when you change your beliefs about your identity of what it means to be an entrepreneur, when you change about your beliefs about what it means to run a business, you set yourself free from so much that has actually been burning you out and you didn't realize it. So you think about, why are you working so hard? What are you working so hard for? To hold up an image? Because you believe this is what the type of business you're supposed to run, this is what you believe a successful entrepreneur to be. Once you change those beliefs and set yourself free, you'll stop that need to work so hard so you can rest. And then you'll also release yourself from feeling guilty for working so hard because you no longer have that need to work so hard. So you break that cycle. And so the next one is beliefs about causes. And so when you believe something to be a cause of something, so you believe hard work to be the cause of most people's success. And you could look at, we could look at the billionaires of the world, for example. So, you hear the story about billionaires like working from their garages to build Amazon, building their startups in college. But here's the thing, or dropping out of college. Here's the thing. Bill Gates' parents were very well connected and had connections at IBM. Jeff Bezos got a $250,000 loan from his parents to start Amazon, and had support from his wife as well. Mark Zuckerberg his parents paid for coding classes for him before he went to college, all through his life. So it's like you believe that hard work is what makes people successful when it's really smart work and connections. So you're working so hard, and hard work just makes you tired. Doesn't guarantee your success. So that's a belief that I had as well. So once I broke the belief that hard work is what led to most people's success and wealth, it set me free as well. So and it also sets you free from feeling guilty about not working hard when you make a lot of money. Because I have a lot of clients that will start making a lot of money and then they feel bad or guilty that they didn't make this money the way that they thought. And so it's like breaking these beliefs and really shifting them into the reality that you want, into a reality that truly feels good and aligned with what you want, is going to set you free from the burnout cycle. Okay, so with cognitive dissonance, let's talk about it. Another reason that you are experiencing any burnout is cognitive dissonance. So cognitive dissonance is when you send two sets of messages to your subconscious mind, confusing it. So this is why it's really important that you change your belief system. And when, for example, you're thinking that, oh, I want to live a life of luxury, but deep down you believe that hard work is what makes people successful. So you're trying to have this facade of being laissez-faire and relaxed, but deep down you feel guilty for not working hard for your money. And this is creating mental stress, cognitive dissonance. And so this leads you to do erratic things, behavior, and you get inconsistent results, which leads to burnout. So this is another reason why it's important to really work on your belief systems and align them, so this way your behavior aligns with your beliefs and you start getting consistent results. And when you have consistent results, soon your business can work on autopilot. You know what works, what doesn't work. You do the things that work and that don't work, and you can actually work on autopilot as well. It becomes very easy for you to succeed because your belief systems are in alignment with your behavior. So it's like when you do this, it goes deeper than anything. So not only are you healing from burnout, but you're preventing future burnout, because now your behavior aligns with your beliefs. So you'll no longer do things that don't align with your goals. And it'll be so much easier to hit your goals. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, this is just a very simple way to explain cognitive dissonance, because a lot of people are just confused as to why it's so hard for you to hit your goals, why it's so hard for you to do the things that you want to do, or be the type of person that you want to be, or have the things that you want to have. If you constantly ask yourself this and you feel like the answer is, and usually people think like the answer is working more or going harder, and it leads them to burning out and it leads them to not getting what they want. So not only do you have physical burnout, but then you have mental and emotional burnout, because you dealt with that failure after you worked so hard. That feeling of failure after you've worked so hard is what really kills you. So when you align your belief systems with who you are, what you really want, and what you want to do, it will change your life. It will change your life. So it's really important for you to kind of look at your beliefs. So let me just give you a quick exercise so you can do this, to look at your belief system. All right. So where is the misalignment? Oh, it's cut off. Sorry about that. I'll read the bottom for you. So this is an excerpt from my Master Your Identity and Master Your Beliefs resource. So this is what you get. You get the full version of everything when you join Master Universe. And if you need information on that, the link is in my bio, or the link will be in the description box if you're watching the replay. To join the waitlist, it's an application process, and there's only 44 people allowed to join at a time because it is a group hypnosis and one-on-one hypnosis experience. So you do the group hypnosis for the next few weeks. For the rest of the year, we focus on 3 goals that you want to hit. Like, these are 3 cosmic level goals. These are goals that you didn't think that you would be able to hit, but with Master Universe, you are able to hit them. And then you also have one-on-one sessions for really customized trainings and alignment. So you really get the mental, emotional, and spiritual support that you need to make 2021 one of the best years of your life. So you look at this is where you need to find the misalignment. So how do you see yourself? And then what do you want to see yourself as? And does this identity, like, what things about this identity really don't mesh well with what you want? Like, you think about the identity of a successful business owner, and you think about who you are, but you don't like to work long hours. You don't feel like hustling. So it's not really about you becoming this successful business owner. It's really you changing what a successful business owner actually is. And then you look at what you value. What do you really value? Is it really, for me, in my business, it's important that my clients get the transformation that I promised them. So when I do extra work, the extra work that I do is learning different methods. Like, I have over 10 hypnotherapy certifications, and then also brain coaching certification. I'm getting my Ph.D. It's really, really important to me that I really understand the human mind and the different types of minds within the human experience to make sure that my clients get the absolute transformation, change their lives. So that is so valuable to me. So I have no problem taking additional courses when I'm running my business, or being in school when I'm running my business, because I'm fueled by my values. And then because I'm so focused on the transformation for my clients, I hired people to run my business for me, the different things within my business. So answering emails, answering DMs, creating assets, all those things I outsourced. So instead of me focusing on things that I didn't really want to do in my business, I focus on the true things that really aligned with my values, those topics, those tasks. And so that's what helps me keep going. And then the next thing that you need to do is, like, what do you believe? Do you believe it's really possible to make money doing what you love? Do you really believe it's possible to be rich and kind? Do you really believe it's possible to run a business with ADHD? Because deep down, if you don't believe it, no matter who you hire, no matter what course you take, no matter how much you invest in ads, your results are going to be lacking. So working through all of these areas, journaling on this will give you some insight as to where you need to start. Now, where does hypnosis come into play, right? So hypnosis addresses all these layers. We address how you see yourself and your identity. We address what you really value with your identity, whether what you value comes from you or from your childhood or your ancestors. We find out what you really value and if it really means something to you in this your experience right now in the 3D. Then we look at your beliefs. Hypnosis makes it so much easier to shift and align your belief system without having to say affirmations every day. Like, if you forget to say your affirmations, what happens? Having to journal. So now you have to journal and run your business. Like, you have to do all of this work just to really run your business. And the reason, that's why I work with entrepreneurs. I mean, it's like, you have to run your business. So having to say affirmations, do all this work, and then get to actual work is a lot. So hypnosis helps you succeed on autopilot, because you've kind of been sabotaging on autopilot, so you can succeed on autopilot as well. We put so much stock into things outside of ourselves, and it's by design, of course. It's easier to manage a population that doesn't believe in its own power, right? So with hypnosis, you really understand how your mind works, what is for you, what isn't for you, what you really want, what thoughts and beliefs are yours, and what you've been led to think and believe. You get control back of your mind, body, and soul. And once you get the control back of your mind, body, and soul, that's when you feel truly powerful. And you stop trying to seek power. So then you start to seek joy. You start to seek enlightenment. You start to seek experiences. Life becomes like this playground. Your business becomes just a vehicle to make you live the life that you want. Your life no longer revolves around your business, but it's just supported by your business. So that is what my practice hinges on. It's not for you to become a machine. It's for you to turn your business into a machine and your life into a playground. So that's what hypnosis does. Hypnosis makes the process so much simpler. You invest a large amount of money, so you save a large amount of time. That's it. So you can do the affirmations, you can do journal work, you can do mini $47 courses, you can do all these things, but it's like, what's the point when I need to say what the real deal, like, this is it. Like, to get to where I am now, it's thanks to hypnosis. The level of success is thanks to hypnosis. Mastering my identity as a Black woman, mastering my beliefs as someone that's been diagnosed with ADHD, mastering my values as someone that lives in a capitalistic society. So it's all these levels. So for the subliminal bundle to get you started, it's linked in my bio. It is the subconscious reset. So it has the subliminals, and it helps you learn self-hypnosis. So this way, self-hypnosis is going to be a game changer for you, because you are really going to get to know yourself, and you're going to realize that a lot of the stuff that you've been worried about and a lot of stuff that you've been aspiring to or wanting, you kind of didn't want it. So I'm sorry, it's going to kind of like tear your life apart. But then it's going to bring it back together better than ever. And it's going to be a life that you actually truly want to live, because it's going to be based on what your soul really wants, your soul identity, and what you and then the blueprint that you want to create in this life, in this experience. So it's linked in my bio. It's the subconscious reset bundle. And that's the best place to start. I'm so glad. Yeah. And it's great because it's just creating alignment in all areas of your life. A lot of people just want to, and then when you want to go to the next level, like multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, that's when you go and do the other things. But I really want you to get started in feeling this alignment in your life, feeling this freedom, this liberation from the ideals, values, and beliefs that, you know, we sort of bought into, these systems that we've bought into, to set yourself free from that. So once you set yourself free from that, burnout won't be a thing. Burnout is a modern day issue, and it's based on these rules, regulations, and ideals that, you know, we think that we need to buy into. So once you set yourself free from that, you can break the cycle of burnout, and burnout will never be a thing for you again. I immediately like for this live, for example, this week, I was supposed to do it last week, but I was feeling under the weather, and I knew that I shouldn't push myself, and I won't push myself, and I didn't. And so now I'm feeling much better, and you're able to get, I'm feeling 100%, and you're able to get me at 100% versus, 57% Juliet. So yeah, so that is it for today's training. Tomorrow, I'm going to dive in deeper into ADHD and running your business. But I really wanted you to get started, if you're experiencing burnout now, to get started on healing. Because let me tell you, as soon as you shift your belief system, you're going to feel like this weight lifted off your brain and your body and like here, your heart. That's how the healing starts, when you free yourself. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.